Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys every single book I read in the month of July. I honestly don't know if this month was that good just because I had a lot of stuff going on. I had a vacation, I had to finish up school, do my finals, dance camp. Like, I had so much going on this month and I just collected all the books. I didn't do that bad, but still not as good as usual, but we're going to talk about every single book. So we actually started off this month really strong with a 4.75 stars, which is The Hiding Place by Corey Ten Boom. And fun fact, the author is actually the main character in the book, which is so unique. And I didn't realize that until like halfway through the book. So this book is a historical fiction taking place during World War II. We are following Carrie and her family and living through the nightmare that this was. This book definitely showed you more of a gruesome detail about like the camps and stuff like that, and it kind of follows her family taking in Jews and helping Jews. So it's a very insightful book. If you haven't read much about World War II and you want to, I highly recommend this one. This book also talked a lot about what God can do in times like this and like World War II. There was actually some characters in this book that I fell in love with. I cried multiple times. I genuinely think that this is one of my favorite historical fictions I've ever read. I highly recommend this one, especially if you want just like a really sad but gruesome and heartbreaking historical fiction. This is the book for you. Powerful by Lauren Roberts. This is the novella to Powerless and Reckless. If you don't know, this is a fantasy series by Lauren Roberts. If you don't know this already, I don't know how, because I fell in love with Powerless, and having this little novella to hold us over before Reckless, insane. And I did really love this one as well. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I think it was just so good, and the ending was insane as well. I can't tell you much about this book just because it would spoil some things and stuff like that happened in the first book. It was just so good to see our original characters and just to be back in the world with them. But this book, we're actually following different characters from the first book. We're following Adina, which is Peyton's best friend, and it was just so heartwarming and so beautiful, and the ending absolutely tore me apart. And I knew it was coming the whole time, but I still cried like a little baby at the end. It was so good though. Like, it was like short and sweet and fun. I couldn't give this 5 stars just because I feel like it was like 250 pages, so we just didn't get enough information that would have given it a 5 stars. But if it was like 200 more pages and more plot and just more time with these characters, I would have definitely gave it 5 stars. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling. If you don't know, this is actually in play written form, so like each page it starts off with like Harry and then it says what he said and goes like that for every character, and it was just really interesting. If you don't know what this is about, and we're following the children of the main people in the Harry Potter series, which is right behind me, and I was really excited about this, but I was really nervous as well. Like, what if I don't like it? What if it's strange? And that's exactly what I thought. It was kind of strange and it was kind of weird and out there. It was kind of just strange because some of the characters from our beloved series felt so different somehow, and I wasn't as connected to them. I wasn't just like having a good time while reading this, which is the whole point of reading a book. You want to find enjoyment, at least for me. And I just thought the things that happened in this book was so repetitive. I just think that we could have gotten a very shorter book out of this plot line. We could have easily shortened it to at least 200 pages, but instead this book had to be like 300, and it's like, guys, I did not need all of this, and it just kind of ruined some of the characters for me, which is really sad. At one point I wanted like more information about the side characters of our original series, but then at the end I was like, nope, I don't actually want that, because they probably would have been ruined for me. So take that with what you will, but I gave this a 3 stars. Next, which is actually so insane that I waited this long to read this book, it's like what was I doing? And if you know anything about me, it would be Vow of Thieves by Mary Pearson. If you don't know what this book is, it's the second book in the Dance of Thieves duology. And I read the first book last year. I gave it 5 stars. Don't tell me why I waited this long, because honestly, I don't know. It just, I was scared that I wasn't going to like it as much as the first book. Wow, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I don't know. I think I like this one more. And it doesn't make sense because I rated that book 5 stars, but I'm also gonna rate this one 5 stars as well. I don't know why I waited this long. Oh my goodness. These characters and the world and just like the setting in this book, it was beautiful. And I was so happy to be back with these characters, and I thought I would be a little confused just because of where that book ended off with, but I was not confused at all. Like, even though there was a lot of characters and these families in this book, I was still not confused. I was just like rolling with it, and I was happy, and I was having a great time. And yeah, if you don't know anything about this series, we're following Jace and Kazai, 2 characters that I will always love with all my heart. And it's just a really good fantasy world with amazing characters and politics. I never really loved politics in any fantasy book, but this series really got me to love just like family drama and politics, which is really insane. I personally really loved it, probably more than the first one. 5 stars. Highly recommend that series. So good. A little bit over a year ago, I got this book, and his books are kind of on and off for me, but it would be Stephen King. 11/22/63. This is a heavy book. There's so much going on, so many characters, so many plot points, so many, just a lot. But this book is basically, in most simple terms, this book is about a character, Jake. He gets to travel back in time, hopefully stop the JFK assassination. Insane. Also, there's so much more than that in this book. There's just so much that happens in this book, but it flew by. And I didn't expect that at all compared to this size of a book. But I just loved it. I gave it a 4 stars just because there was sometimes I was a little bit bored. Sometimes I didn't love some characters and I was just like sitting there like, you're boring me right now. But I kind of expected that with such a thick book because this book is literally over 800 pages. Like, I do actually recommend, but to certain people, just because I don't think everyone could really love it, I would have to like make sure that you would before I put you into this. Okay, next is Heartless Hunter by Christine Ciccarelli. I actually really love this book. I had such a fun time reading it, even though I didn't expect that. It was going around for so long and I was just like, what is this book about? And why is everyone loving it? But I ended up giving this book a 4.5 stars, and there was some little things in here that I just didn't really like or found a little boring. Let me tell you, the ending of this book ruined me. I will literally never forgive you, Christine. Never. 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 I literally read this a few weeks ago and I'm still thinking about it and I'm still like so mad. This book is about our main characters, Rune and Gideon. They kind of both need something from each other. It's just really chaotic. Really chaotic, but it was really good. Next is a book that you guys have been wanting me to read for so long. It's actually ridiculous, and sadly I didn't really like it. Shatter Me by Tara Mafi. I actually ended up giving this book a 2.5 stars. It just wasn't good. That's literally it. Who we follow is, see, I don't even remember her name. We follow Juliet, and she has these special powers for whenever she touches anyone, they die. She gives them so much pain in their body that they literally just say bye. She's kind of locked up in this jail. That's where we start off. Loki forgot everything about this book. The government has this plan to use her and her powers to, you know, just make her a war weapon. Obviously, she just wants freedom. She just wants a normal life, okay? And one day she gets a roommate in her little jail cell, which is like so odd because that's never happened before. She's like, it's been like a year and a half. Like, why is there some random person in my cell? You know, just really strange stuff. Stuff starts happening and they become friends. It's just like, it's like any dystopian novel. I'm literally just telling you the plot of every dystopian novel right now, but here we go, Shatter Me. I'm sure it will get better as the series goes on because I've heard that's the case for so long. But do I really want to spend my time reading so many more books in this series? Not really. So I don't know if I'll continue. Honestly, I doubt I will. It was a good time, I guess. I just thought it was really cheesy, didn't like any of the writing. I'm sorry, but not really. The Book of Lost Names by Christine Harmel. I remember just starting getting into reading and really excited. And I was like, this one is so beautiful. I should pick this one up. Never read it just till now, like 2 years later. But it was really good. It was really good. We kind of have different timelines. We follow Ava when she was younger in the time period of World War II, and we also follow her as she was older, and she's just, you know, an old lady now. The ending of this book was so heartwarming but also sad at the same time. It was one of the best historical fictions I've ever read. I don't know why historical fictions always hit for me personally. Everything about this book was so good, and it's just, for me personally, this was probably almost perfect of a book. I'm giving this book a 4.75 stars. It was just absolutely incredible, and the ending stuck with me throughout the 2 weeks after I finished this book. It's like so good. Can't believe I waited so long to read it, but here we are. It's actually kind of a highly popular, highly rated book, which is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This is kind of like a dystopian, magical fantasy type of book, and it was really confusing to me personally, and I didn't get the ending. I thought the beginning of the book, like the first 15% was so good and like so magical and whimsical, but then the ending of this book, I was just like, what is happening? There's too many characters, there's so much stuff, there's so much stuff going on. I was just so confused, and I honestly don't know how to tell you what this book is about, other than it's about just magical elements, magic. 3 stars. Next is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the first book in this series. I'm pretty sure there's 4 books, which I'm really excited to continue because I actually really love this one. It was so surprising, but I just fell in love with the characters. I thought it was so much fun. I did kind of guess the ending, whatever. It's a YA thriller mystery book. I'm gonna guess it probably. I gave it 3.5 stars. The whole time I was thinking that this one character was the killer, the bad guy, the end plot result, except like for a few chapters before the actual plot twist, I guessed it, and I was like, okay, well, I was wrong, yeah, but whatever. I really wanted it to be that one character. I don't know why. I'm such a hater. It's like a quick, easy, fun, fast-paced YA thriller book, and if you don't know what this is about, Audrey Rose is our main character. She is a young, I'm pretty sure she's like maybe a senior in high school or something like that, but her uncle is actually someone that takes apart bodies after they died, so kind of examines the organs, how the person died, like the murder mystery type of plots where like they take him to a doctor where they like say like, can you tell us how this person died? That's what her uncle was. She was always so intrigued about the whole system of that and the analytics and the whole anatomy and just stuff like that. She just loved it. So she started to be taught by her uncle how to do that stuff, and one day her uncle gets her to be sent to this school, but she has to dress like a boy because girls can't do that stuff, no. at least in this time period. I'm pretty sure it's like in the 1800s or something like that. It was such a cool time period as well. But she goes to this class. She actually runs into a boy that her uncle has also been kind of teaching as well, and they kind of start working together. There's just kind of this like murder mystery case that's been going around, you know, just like a murder mystery thing. It was just really fun and quick and easy. They do talk about a little bit of like blood and organs and stuff like that, but for me personally, it wasn't that bad. Next is One by One by Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware and me have this on and off hate-love relationship. I read The Turn of the Key by her, and I rated that book literally a 1 star. I hated that book so much. So much, okay? Then I read In a Dark, Dark Wood by her, and I gave that book like a 4 stars or something like that. I don't remember, but it was really good, and I fell in love with the plot and the characters. That book was so good. This one was kind of like in between for me. I ended up rating this one a 3 stars. I just wasn't as invested with the plot. It also kind of guessed the plot twist. We follow this company called Snoop or something like that. It's an online website where you can like track people or something like that. I don't really know what's happening with that whole app thing. But this company decides to go on this ski trip. So random, but they go to this like lodge. It has housing and food and just like catering and stuff like that. And we follow Liz, which is one of the workers of the company, and Erin, which is actually one of the hosts of this like hotel thing at the ski resort. And we kind of follow like the company's drama and what they have going on in their company's lives. It's really just like full of gossip, and kind of go along this trip with them. It was so interesting. I kind of guessed the plot twist at the end just because I thought it was pretty obvious personally, because it was just like the whole time the author was trying to make us love this one character, and it was just like obvious that it's like, no, that person literally did it. It's so obvious. Just stop. But basically, Liv, the person that works in the company, her grandmother had recently died and gave her so much money that she's like, okay, I'll put in some of it into the company, I'll help us out, you know, all that stuff. The company is kind of split into two kind of groups. One that wants to do something with the money, and then one wants to do something else with the money, and she has to pick which one she wants to do. One side of the company has a really dark secret about her, and one of them also has a dark secret about her. So it's just a lot of drama and a lot of stuff going on, and we kind of follow Erin and Liz's perspective. But in Erin's perspective, we're just getting to know all these characters and falling into this mystery thrilling thriller. The sad part is just I thought that it was very predictable, but it was really good until, you know, I guess the plot twist. And these are all the books I read in the month of July. I honestly thought I read less than this. I'm actually pretty proud of myself just knowing how much stuff I had to do this month. I feel like it was a pretty solid month as well. I read so many good fantasies and thrillers and historical fiction, like so good. If I had to recommend to you guys maybe 3 books, oh my god, I don't even know if I could do that. Let's do top 5. Can I even do that? I don't know. Yeah, I can do top 5. First, 11/22/63, but to certain people, Vow of Thieves, and the whole duology. The duology is just one of my favorites of all time. The Hiding Place, because such a quick, fast-paced historical fiction, literally so good. Heartless Hunter, yes and no. Liked some things about it, didn't love some things about it. Overall, my feelings are kind of mixed, but still pretty good. And The Book of Lost Names. This book was so good, guys. Like, please read this book if you like historical fiction and just like plot and character driven books. Oh my goodness, absolutely love that book. If you guys like this video, of course, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next one. I love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.